So where is our special envoy to the USA, Mcebisi Jonas? Does anybody know where this man is? This sounds like some kind of game, where you have to spot Wally on a crowded field or something. But for a whole special envoy to go missing, apparently such a specially gifted man as our former Deputy Minister of Finance, Mcebisi Jonas. Now, let me just explain the story. It's quite bizarre. Our country, we finally decided to appoint an ambassador to the US. And the geniuses in our international relations department, ministry, decided that here's a good idea. We're going to appoint as our ambassador to the US a man who hates America and hates Donald Trump. And this happens just after Donald Trump is elected as the president. So they sent Ibrahim Rasool to be our ambassador to the US. Well, perhaps those Americans aren't as asleep as we like to think. They looked a little bit into Mr. Rasool's history. He had been there as ambassador before and failed. Needless to say, he had the seat, wasn't even warm yet, when Mr. Rasool on a special webinar, basically calls Donald Trump a racist. That didn't go down particularly well in America. And almost immediately, Rasool was expelled from America, leaving us ambassadorless, which we are still to this day. But never mind, much like the Commission of Inquiry is going to solve some problem somehow, we will solve a problem by not solving the problem. And our president and his geniuses in our international relations ministry decide to send the former Deputy Finance Minister, Mcebisi Jonas, to be a special envoy to the US. Nobody really knows what the special envoy is meant to be. All we know is that he's not an ambassador. Now, once again, it would have taken, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to work out that perhaps this wouldn't have been the best appointment for two reasons. He seems like a nice enough chap. He smiles very nicely. He waited 5 years before telling the world that the Guptas wanted to bribe him and give him 600 million rand to be the finance minister, and he turned them down. But maybe like Cyril, he also acts very slowly. But hey, after 5 years, he says, that happened then. I didn't take the money, therefore I'm a good guy. South Africa was so desperate for heroes, we thought he was a good guy. But what has he been doing since then? Well, he left government, even though talk was that he was offered the Ministry of Finance, but he turned it down. Why? Because he became chairman of MTN and has been the man responsible for MTN's rather sizable investment in Iran. Now, that's a name that keeps on cropping up, and, what better way to get, funds to South Africa or South African funds to Iran than through a big cell phone operator operating in Iran? Well, anyway, the point is that there's some smell about MTN and their investment in Iran. This was really sort of the baby of Mcebisi Jonas. We understand that Iran, who seem to have a sort of slogan of death to America. So he seemed like the perfect candidate to send to America. So, of course, Americans are going to be delighted to have this guy there as the special envoy. On top of it, not long, sort of a basic Google search shows up that Mcebisi Jonas has got a similar view about Donald Trump, calling him a racist and all sorts of things in a previous podcast that he had done. So, just exactly the kind of guy you want to represent the country's interests in the USA, our biggest trading partner. Suddenly, ever since his appointment as a special envoy, the first surprise was our wonderful meeting at the Oval Office. No sign of Mr. Jonas. Questions started to arise then, where is he? And there's been no sight of him since. Now, the Democratic Alliance's shadow international relations minister, Emma Powell, has in fact opened a PIA, access to information case to try and find out where this guy is. Where immediately Cyril Ramaphosa's Goebbels, this guy by the name of Vincent Magwenya, who's never seen a problem he couldn't spin his way out of, has said that the DA must stop harassing the ANC and Mr. Jonas and stop creating problems by asking these questions. And of course, Mr. Jonas is there, and in actual fact, he's been there helping our Ministry of Trade and Industry, playing an important role with trade proposals for the Trade and Industry Ministry. Well, surely we would see them by now. Or perhaps he was very busy with our International Relations Ministry to reset diplomatic relationships. The only problem is nobody knows what the hell he's done. We don't know what are these trade deals that he's meant to be working on are. What relations is reset? Our relations with the US seem to be at their worst. I mean, this whole situation gets more and more sinister. If Emma Powell from the DA is just making trouble, why not just show Mcebisi Jonas at the top of the Statue of Liberty or Disneyland or something? You know, let AI make up a picture. But no, nothing, except to be told to stop doing it. Well, once again, these people are appointed at massive expense to you and I, the taxpayer. They represent us as South Africans. We've just been slapped with a 30% tariff by the USA. It looks like a AGOA deal is in the toilet. Everybody else seems to be in the USA except for Mcebisi Jonas. So this is going to go out to a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to see this. And perhaps if anybody watches this from America, if you have spotted Mcebisi Jonas, maybe at a Target supermarket, Walmart, or McDonald's, you know, down in Times Square, somewhere in America, please let us know. Because according to the ANC, he is hard at work. According to the rest of the world, nobody seems to know where the guy is. Somebody's lying here. I think we've got to keep an eye on this and see exactly who the liar is. I wouldn't trust Vincent Magwenya as far as I can throw him, which isn't very far. So let's just see where Mr. Jonas actually finally pitches up. And I doubt very much if he's going to pitch up in the US of A. Thank you for joining me today.